let's make a simple shooter game. First off, get rid of the cat, like I've done here. Go into Paint New Sprite, and it should send you here. I've already done this, but you can make a little guy like this, or you can make your own. Next, once you're done with that, hop into the coding tab. When green flag clicked, forever, point towards mouse pointer. Now, it will always point towards the thing. Point towards your mouse pointer. And here's something very important. You never want to center this whole sprite, because then you will get this really weird turning. To keep that, just center the circle and then build the arms around it. Now that you're done with that, let's add some movement. Go into My Blocks and create a block called Move X and Move Y. Put in a numeric input of joystick X for X and joystick Y for Y. Great. Now, once you have those two, put your Move X, put a Move X and a Move Y in the Forever script. By the way, thanks to GriffPatch for this moving script. Use the Move X, and in the numeric input, put in a subtraction block and 2 ORs on either side. In those ORs, right arrow pressed or D key pressed, left arrow pressed or A pressed. Do that now. Now do the exact same for the Move Y, except do it for the up arrow and the W and the down arrow and the S. Great. Now, for these scripts, stop your project, and before we do anything else, put in a go to XY, go to 0, 0, so it's centered in the middle of the screen. Next, let's add the Move X scripts. Make a new variable named Speed X and Speed Y. Now, in the define Move X, change Speed X by 0.9 times joystick X, which is the numeric input here. Next, set Speed X to 0.9 times Speed X. Put in a change X by Speed X at the end. Do the exact same for the Move Y, except for Speed Y, joystick Y, and Speed Y. Perfect. Now let's set that up. As you can see, it will move to our mouse, and it should be centered in the middle of the screen every time you press it. And great, now we've got nice moving. Okay, let's move on. Let's actually change the 0.9 to a 1. And 1, 1, and 1. Let's try that out. Now we're a lot more slippery. Let's actually bring that down. 0.8. 0.8. That's a good. Great. They're a bit slower now. So, replace this change and put in a 0.9. Great. It's perfect. cut this whole part out. Great. Now we have our moving scripts. I like this. But now, right now, we don't have anything to do in our game. Let's make a new sprite. Make a rectangle. You can make this whatever color you want. I think I'm going to make it yellow. A nice bright yellow. That looks good. Next, use this tool to select three parts on each side. Next, you can delete the corners. And now you should get this nice rounded edge. Do the same over here. And that's looking great. I like this. Let's center it. But this is way too big for our little guy to shoot at cubes, which is going to be our enemy. Let's size this down a lot. Recenter it, and let's bring down. That's nice, but let's put this color into here. 1976. Or we can just use a color picker tool. Great. Now we can make this as small as we want with no consequences. I think I like this size. That is a little hard to see though. We can always change it later. That's a great size. Next, let's go back into the code. And for this one, go into events. Bring out when green flag clicked. And same thing, go to XY 0, 0. Nice. Now, put in a forever if mouse down, then create clone of myself. There's a problem with this that we'll talk about later, but for now, it'll work. Now, bring in a when I start as clone. Put in a repeat until block. Nope, not an if. A repeat until, touching, edge. Now, put in a move 10 steps. Nice. But this is a bit too, this has a bit too many. And they're all just going over there. We'll reach our limit of clones very fast. As you can see, we can't shoot anymore, which means we reached our limit. How do we fix this? First of all, put in a delete this clone. There. Great. Now how do we fix the problem of it just being a solid laser beam? The easiest way is to put in a wait block. But as you can see, this is way too slow. You may like it, but for my game, we're going to put this down to 0.1. I like that. I may actually put it down to 0.01. Yeah. Oh, that feels fun to play with already. But as you can see, it's not following our person. Let's fix that once again. In here, we're going to make a new block, and it's going to be laser. Run without screen refresh so we can make sure that this all happens before you see it. In the define laser, put in a go to block and put in a go to player. Oh, I forgot to name our sprites. First of all, rename our player. this one, laser. Great. Go to player and point towards, not player, because it'll get really buggy. Point towards mouse pointer. Great. Now, put in your laser block right here before we start this script. Now, as you can see, it will go to us, but I don't like how it's coming straight from our head and not really our hands. First of all, now that we actually have this part, let's add in a blaster to shoot our lasers. Let's give it a nice gray color. Make that a bit thicker. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. But it's still not coming out of our blaster. Let's fix that. Next, in this fine laser, do a move, let's say 40 steps. Oh yeah, that's so much better. But let's have it go to the back layer. Go to back layer. And I am going to copy and paste that under the one I started, Cloud Sprite. Okay, great. Now, that's looking perfect. Maybe a few more than 40. Let's do 45 steps. Oh yeah, I like this. And we can move around while using our blaster. But what I don't like is that pesky little one that's original. See, what we're doing is we're making the clones go to you. But we're not making the actual one do anything. So, put in a hide. And to counteract that, we're going to put in a show. Great. Now when we click the green flag, it should disappear. And, yep. Great. I'm liking our little blaster here. Now, let's paint a new sprite. What should we fight? Cubes? Yeah, let's make some cubes. Holding down shift, you can make a perfect square. Let's fill the square with a nice gray. And fill this with black. That's a pretty good enemy. Let's size it down to about the same size as our player. Maybe even a little smaller. I like that size. You can change it how you want though. Great. Put in a when green flag clicked. Bring in F forever. And put in a point towards player. Move 1 steps. Next, let's put in a go to random position. Now, it will forever come at us, but I'll save the rest for you. Until next time.